Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of No Tea, Just Coffee. My name is Tam.
And I'm Jordan.
So today's episode, or the meat and potatoes, we're going to be talking about gender expectations. Not necessarily gender roles, but the expectations from a man versus a woman. What does that look like? What are, the expectations that you have for, for each gender? And then for the shoot the shit, I actually forget what were we talking about for the shoot the shit?
We are going to talk about sneaky links.
Sneaky links.
And what the heck is that? I'm old school and I don't know what it means. So we need to get into it.
Old school. Oh my goodness.
I'm old school.
But yeah, so that's gonna be our conversation today. So gender expectations.
Which topic should we start with first?
Because one is the shoot the shit.
I mean like gender expectations. We could go from A to Z.
Oh, absolutely.
Different categories. What
absolutely.
I meant to say.
I mean, let's start, I guess, in the traditional way of a relationship.
Yeah.
So gender roles, or if you're, when you're in a relationship, what are the expectations that that you have, within that dynamic,
or what has been taught, or what has been said or seen. And I think I'm to the point where it's like, I think we were taught something, but was that really the way it should have been? Because I think I was taught one way, and then it really wasn't healthy to go that route,
Yeah, I was taught to be an independent woman.
Yeah.
First off, there is nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely
not. But I was taught to be that. And this wasn't necessarily taught to me, but it was learned, or just from watching that almost you can be a little bit too independent. So, sometimes
you can be overboard.
There's some women who's like, I don't need a man, I don't want a man. And I think we might have touched on this a little bit before, but my mom, she is very independent, strong Black woman. Okay. She just finished building a deck with a gazebo on top.
You tap dancing on the top.
I was tap dancing on it. But she, that is just how she's always been. And just, obviously watching, that's what I got.
Has she been that way because she had to?
Well, that's what I was getting. I mean? That's what I was getting at. So she had to be.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't grow up with my dad in the household. I grew up with my dad in my life. First off, okay, I'm a daddy's girl. Okay, but they lived separately, and even my brother's dad. So she had to, because she didn't have that traditional woman, man, or father.
She's like, if it needs to get done, I got to do it.
I'm gonna do it, and so that's how I grew up. Yeah. Now, I don't want to be that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to, like, if I have a man in my house, then of course I'm going to want them to do, I guess, more of the traditional role. In the sense of, like, I don't, like, if something is, I don't want to take the damn trash out.
Right.
Okay. I mean, that's like very minute, but you get what I'm saying? Like, there are things that I don't want to do. And those would be things that I would expect from my man.
Well, and I think a lot of times we focus on the do's, like like you said, take the trash out, do those things or whatever, but we never really talk about like the emotional do's. Like, it's always, well, the woman is more emotional, she's more the communicator, she is, and in some cases we are more of the communicator, the one who leans on our emotions too, but it shouldn't always be that the woman has to, or the other one is like the woman's always nagging and she always, well, that's not the case. It shouldn't always be the woman to bring about issues. It shouldn't always be the woman to show emotion. It shouldn't always be the woman who shows care and tenderness. I feel like a male should bring in those perspectives as well too. Just because traditionally they haven't. I think a male needs to show tenderness. A male needs to show versatility in their role as a male, and not just, what we've been known to do. So I think it could go both ways.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But there's also, and I'm just personally, this is just me personally, there's also levels to that a little bit. Like, I do want someone who's emotionally intelligent. Okay. I don't want, basically, we both can't be two emotional people in this relationship.
Well,
and now
emotionally intelligent and emotional are two different things, though, to me, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, for me, I need someone that who's in touch with their emotions for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But also knows how, I guess, kind of know how to pick and choose when to use them. Because if we're both, this is actually a situation that I experienced.
Yeah.
If we're both in a state of emotion where, my man needs me,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also in the same state where I may need him. Now we're kind of clashing with our emotions, and we can't really be there for each other, right? It's kind of knowing when. And so I guess for me, I would like a nice healthy balance of that.
Okay.
Of knowing how to and when to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah,
I want someone who knows, who's in touch with their emotions, because I also think that helps and we just recently talked about this in one of our episodes, can effectively communicate a little bit more because they are a little bit more in tune with how they feel.
And I think I was thinking of, we as men are supposed to be hard, and that's what I was saying, more so of it has to be shown that a male has the versatility in their emotional ability. Mm-hmm. So they can, show care, they can show emotion, not situational, because it can be, you have to kind of pick and choose in a situation. But I was just saying, as a whole person, I think sometimes we, think a man has to be strong and he can't show his emotions, and those types of things is just what I was saying is,
not arguing that. I'm 100% agreeing with that.
So that we can grow up and see, because, in my household, my parents were together and they were married for a long time, but emotionally it wasn't very healthy, because my mother was like the stay at home. She cooked, she cleaned, she took care of the household, and my dad went to work, made the money. But as a relationship goes, there was nothing there. There was nothing there for me to model into my real life, and when I go into relationships. So I really didn't know emotionally how to be available, but I knew what to do. I knew to cook, clean, take care of your kid, do all these things, the do's, the actions, but emotionally I didn't know how to kind of interact in a healthy way with the opposite sex in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So I think versatility is important in that as well too.
No, 100%. Not arguing that at all. Yeah. I think we're essentially saying the same thing, just in different ways. Because I 100% am in agreement with that. I don't believe that a man can't show his emotion at all. Like, I really want to.
That's what you were saying either.
I want to see that. Me now. Too. Probably, I'm going to be completely honest, because I have witnessed it, or I have experienced this. Probably the first time it happens, it will kind of like take me back a little bit, just because just because that has been so built into the way of thinking that a man isn't supposed to do that. But I do want that. But the first time I actually experienced it, for me, again, me, because I have experienced this couple of times. Like the first time, like my man cried or something, it was like, whoa, okay. Like, all right, like I had to take a moment, because it's just not, that's something not what you're used to. It's not what you're used to. That's not what your mind is trained to like think or look at, towards the guy. But no, for sure. Emotional emotion, or what am I saying? Emotional intelligence? No.
Versatility. There we go. I kept saying that. I don't know if that's the correct word, but
it makes sense to me. Versatility.
Like, I remember vividly when, again, with the emotional side of it, is I remember when my mother passed and my dad told me, no emotion. And I thought, well, shit, what am I supposed to do?
Not like in front, because my mom is very much the same.
Not in front of me. He's not showing no emotion. So me, in my mind, I'm like, so a man may go through these horrific events and show absolutely no emotion. You don't really even know how they're really feeling. So for me, even to this day, like, and Alfred he's a little more traditional in a sense too, of not always showing emotion. I really try to be like, are you okay? Or try to get to the nitty gritty, because I know some males do struggle with showing emotion, and that's just a learned behavior. And so for me, like with my son, I want him to be able to show his emotions and be able to understand where they're coming from and work through them with his partner is what I'm hoping. Just because it is hard to kind of navigate in a relationship when you don't show.
But even with that, I think going back to like learned behavior, I've seen my mom cry once. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one that, like, you'll hear a lot of people be like, I've never seen you cry. Or like, wait, you cry? Like, and when it does happen, for most people, it's shocking.
Yeah.
And maybe that's probably learned behavior, because I've a close friend of hers that's like, some things has happened.
Yeah.
I have never seen that woman cry except for one time out of my 38 years of life.
Wow.
But going back to just like other gender roles and expectations, like in a relationship, like, or I guess like what would you like your your guys' expectations in like the gender role or within your relationship? Do you guys have any?
Oh yeah. We definitely have it, because again, I'm with somebody who has a lot of traditional background. So I am the one who's going to cook. Mm-hmm. Even though.
Why you look like that?
But, I will accept that. Okay. I cook almost every other day, almost every day. Hate it. But as long as I see you willing to try to help take some of that load, like now Alfred has been more adamant about, we were just talking about him cooking the sides. Listen, thank God, okay? Because I'm tired, you know what I mean? So he'll get in there, make the sides while I'm seasoning the meat or whatever the case, whatever I'm making.
Oh, that's beautiful. Cooking together as a family, as a
because it makes the experience for me not feel like a job.
Absolutely.
And I think men, and I hate to say that because I'm like, not all men. It's not all men, but some men are in the situation. I don't think they understand that everything for a woman sometimes can feel like a job.
A job, yep.
Because of these gender roles. I did not sign up for this. No, I don't remember signing up.
I can tell you, my relationship, it's not traditional. Yeah, we don't really have.
But y'all live in two separate households. But how would it be if y'all did live in the same household?
Right, but when we're like, I'm just using an example. Yeah. I'm going to use an example of like cooking.
Yeah.
We actually, sometimes we cook together. Sometimes he don't even let me go into the kitchen because he wants to cook.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
Yeah.
There's no. There's some expectations, but I think when it comes to like those traditional roles of like the woman cooks and cleans and da. My boyfriend, he is a clean freak. He will start cleaning before I will. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of one of those things, going back to like the partnership thing. Yes. Like, it's you and me. So I don't. Yeah. Are there some things, some expectations that I have? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But overall, no, this is a partnership. Wherever you get in, I'm going to fit in.
Do you think it would be that way? If y'all lived together, y'all would have shared responsibilities?
Yeah, because I don't. And I mean, I guess how granular are we talking? Like pay for the mortgage or?
Oh no, like how you were saying, like sometimes he cooks, sometimes I cook. He clean. Do you think you would have? Would that still be the case if y'all lived in the same household, shared responsibilities in that way?
I can't see why it would change just because we're now living together.
Sometimes when you're, I don't know, like when me and Alfred didn't live together, weren't long distance, and it could be completely different. But when he would come over, I would be more excited to cook. Now, or maybe if I went over there, he would kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna order food. But then when we live together and we've been living together for so long, it's like you start to get a little more relaxed, and you're not that you're not excited to see each other, but the environment is different, and just you're in your everyday. Like, okay, well, I know how to cook better, so I will cook. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can even relate it to like my like past relationship. We didn't really, well, again, there were some expectations, right? But like even with that, it was a thing of a partnership. Now, this is what I will say. he was very traditional in his way of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, the man go to work, he brings, home the bacon. You stay home and cook and clean, and you gonna do that. But you're dealing with someone.
That's right.
Who is so not that, and I don't mind. The thing, I don't mind, right? I don't mind doing any of that. Right. But what's not about to happen, you're not about to tell me that this is what I'm supposed to do. Like,
and I think that is, and Alfred doesn't do that. We have a shared,
and he didn't either. Sorry, let me just preface that he didn't. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be with him anyway. I
would be like,
hold on, I was like, we wouldn't even be together. You ain't about to tell me what. Right. But we started out, as you do, two different people with two different expectations, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Then you come, this is what I got, this is what I got.
Now you have to merge it somehow.
How do we merge it?
Yeah.
Some of that stuff we're going to have to throw away because it ain't never going to happen.
Yep.
One thing we had to learn is that, and then now it's like we do have shared responsibilities. One thing that I know, Alfred ain't cooking no meal. He ain't cooking no meal like that. He'll give me a 1 and a 2 every now and then. Now he gonna help me with the size every time, but he's gonna clean. He does his own laundry. He helps me with my son, of course.
Ooh,
my son.
Laundry.
It's our son.
Wow.
Wait a minute. What is he? A live-in nanny? He assumes the role of partnership.
Yeah.
All of that was like the 80-20. So the 80 is that, the 20 is the dinner that he don't cook. So if that's the only thing that I got to do, I'm fine with that. Yeah. Now I am gonna complain every now and then. I'm gonna complain every now and then. I'm like, dang it, I gotta cook this meal. But it's something that I'm willing to do because it's worth it, and I know that he coming through with everything else.
Yeah,
in a partnership with everything else. So I don't mind it, but I ain't gonna complain.
Yeah, I think just overall it's about a partnership. Yeah. Like yes, there's going to be some expectations that you are going to want.
Yes.
But I think overall, as long as you guys are working together, and it's like, I'm going to pick up this load where you may not be able to today.
That's
you know what
right.
I'm saying? Like,
because that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Like, you pick up the kids on Tuesday, I pick up the kids on Wednesday, or I take the kids to the doctor's appointment. Don't let your mate do every single thing. I don't care if you make more money or all the money.
Oh, baby,
it's still a human being that we all get exhausted. We all get stressed. We all have things to do, especially, now I only have one, but especially if she got 5, 6 kids or 3, I don't care how many kids she got. It's all stressful, and chime in and help. You know what I mean? Yes, you are tired, but guess what? She's tired too. And she's going to be more tired or more stressed if you don't chime in and help.
Yeah.
So, I don't care what the scenario is. It is like Tam keeps saying, it is a partnership. If that's your partner, you bear some of that weight too.
Yeah. My best friend and her husband, one of my best friends. Sorry, they're gonna watch that. They get so mad when I just say my best friend. I have a couple best friends, but one of my best friends, and her husband, they actually do a really good job with that. Like, I don't think as long as I've known them both to be together, I don't think there's ever really been a clear picture of their gender role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
I mean, obviously,
some of the things are going to be clear.
Yeah, something like, he's definitely the man in the house. Like those things are clear, but like they are very much like I'm where you don't feel like cooking, I'm going to cook tonight, or let's go do, or whatever. Like, there's.
Let me tell you something, men. I'm sorry, y'all. If you want the goods on a consistent basis, I'm telling you right now, you better get to doing. Because you can't wear her out and then expect her to be like Megan Thee Stallion later.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
If you want that consistency, it's a give and a take. The more you give, the more you're gonna be able to take later. Like, you gotta have the energy and the effort too. Like, it's a vibe and weave, and it is a partnership, because
vibe and weave.
It is. It's like, oh shoot, she's stressed. Let me grab the kids.
Yeah.
She looks stressed. Let me go.
Or he.
There we go.
He done had a long day, so let me go and do, whatever that looks like, like.
Or if she don't feel like cooking, or he don't feel like, one of my sisters, her husband does all the cooking. Praise the Lord. And so, you know, it is not always a gender thing. A female's not always going to be the cook, but because he cooks, she going to do the other things.
Right.
Keep the kids away. Take the kids outside while he cook, or what, or make the sides. I don't know, or make the dessert. Right. You know, do something so that your partner doesn't feel like the weight is all on them. Now let me ask you this. Okay. You just have to have a good point.
I was gonna, because there was something I wanted to point out with my best friend and her husband. Like, you know, one thing that they do that I think is so cute.
What?
So they have 2 kids. Like, they both, like, together will put them, you know, bath time, put them in their PJs, both put them to bed together.
That's a precious thing.
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
And not one person, you know, doing over. Yes. Now, I'm sure there's been moments where, like,
right.
But
I'm waiting on you to put the go and do it.
But majority of the time, that I
it's
think
a shared experience.
I think that is like their thing, and it's like, oh, that's just.
And that's a good point too, because you do have your own thing. Nobody that I can't remember what I was watching or whatever, and I think I've said that in another episode, is that don't ask me for marriage advice. Don't ask me for it, because literally there is no mold for it. There's no book that you can read. It is literally who you are and who your mate is. Y'all make up what makes you happy, what makes your unit happy, what doesn't stress, or you know what I mean? The weight has to be even, whatever that looks like. And if it works for you, it works for you. It ain't gonna work for me, but it works for you. Like,
some people are more into that traditional role expectation. Others are not.
Make up your own mixed bag of whatever.
Shake it up.
That's right.
You were about to ask me something.
I was. So what do you think with here we go with social media. What's given social media, on our previous episode, we talked about Keke Palmer, which, you know, that was a thing because there's a gender role thing, I think, there too.
Okay.
What do you think of the gender expectations in this era now that we live in? Like, what's some things that you've seen you like?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I think I see a lot more of like women taking ownership and power over themselves and who they are and what they want to do. And I think men are starting to feel a little threatened by it. A little bit, right? Now, I do also think that I think that some women they a little bit too much with it. Because even me being independent, I'm okay with pulling back for my man. I'm okay with being submissive in some, you know, some areas.
Submissive, yes.
Like with you know, with
the right one.
With the right one, or within my relationship.
Yeah.
But I think that now it is very much like woman empowerment. I can do all. I don't need anybody. You can, and this is what I'm going to do, and I don't need your. And it's like, woo, pipe down, sis. Like, okay, it's okay to be that. I'm that, very much so.
Yeah.
But I also know where the line is drawn. Yeah. You know,
it's kind of like you got to know, what is it like you. Who, what, when, where, like you got to know every different scenario. And where I am very boisterous, and I think you were just saying that, where I'm very boisterous, maybe at work, where I'm very assertive at work, I may not be as assertive in my household in certain situations with Alfred. I let him lead. I think it's like you got to learn how to
when and where,
because you may have a very strong personality. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a strong personality. I think that's an amazing trait to have. But sometimes you do have to dial it back because, like I've said before, me and Alfred are alphas. And we were like two bulls in a china shop to begin with, because it was like, no, my way, you know, and I call it traditional or whatever. I had to kind of back up and be submissive in that way, because I want him to lead this household.
Right.
I honestly ain't got it in me. I'm tired. You know what I mean?
Tired, boss.
I'm clocking out. If he can lead, go on lead. But he has earned that.
Take the wheel.
That's right. Look, I'm now. Don't take the wheel and we off the road down the hill and crashing. So that also too is learned as well. But I think in the gender dynamic, Those things have to be earned, learned. There's progression, and I think. Go ahead.
So I want to flip the question.
Yeah.
Back to you. What do you think now in today's age those expectations and roles look like?
I think I agree with what you said, but I also think that to add to that, I think men are unappreciative at times of who the woman has become, what we have become. And instead of saying, sis, I know that for the past 10 to 15 years, you've had to do it on your own because you had to do it on your own. Let me take some of this weight from you, and here's why. Instead of saying she too extra, she too much, she too independent, she don't know. It's like negative. It's like, why don't you get to know why she may be as strong as she is and why she had to be that way? Ask her story. And also you have to position yourself in a way into which she will respect it.
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean?
If you come in the right way, baby, say less. like
why,
say less.
Why would she just now? Okay, we ain't saying we know
and
every
I mean,
woman,
right? And I mean like energy and just how how you come and show me.
That's right.
That you can be this person and you can lead and you can help. Like you want to take some of these things off my plate.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna fight that.
And here's the thing too. For the more traditional men, women can bring a lot to the table and sometimes more than you have to offer. And that's okay too. Don't let it hurt your ego and don't let it eliminate you from
that ego, boy. Don't
miss out on a good thing because sis making more than you. That's all right. Where can you meet her in a different way?
Yeah.
She makes all the income, taking care of the bills and doing all this. Sis out here making it happen out here. Don't have her come home, make her feel bad because she out here getting it.
And
she done worked her butt off.
That's somebody's ego.
Why don't you have the house clean? And see, this is where the gender roles get tricky because men were like, well, nah, I ain't about to clean the house. That's a woman's role. But you want her to do okay.
Don't let somebody be like, that's what a
woman's supposed to do. Let me sit about here. You want her to do everything that you would do, that she would do. But then have some humility when it comes to you and not feel some type of way about it. You want her to be submissive when she don't got no reason to be submissive. Like, give her a reason to be submissive. It ain't always income. It ain't all about who make the most money because I want to see and feel that I have a partnership. I want to see and feel that I'm not bearing all this weight, whether that's you pick the kids up and take them to school in the morning, you cook them breakfast, something that I don't have to do. Do that, okay? No matter what. Sorry, I got on no rant.
And I was just letting you go.
But seriously, it's like, I think there are gender expectations. But with the time that we are living in, women are out here getting it. They are very independent, rightfully so, and some of them have had no choice but to be that way. It's just the way in which the cards were dealt. But I do believe that if it's a good woman that has some sense, she won't let
that get in the way because there's also some women that, because not everybody is like, well, I had to because right, there's just some women out there that are just that way. Because
they want to be. What's wrong with being successful?
Right. They want to be. They don't want to be the housewife or the one that stays home with the kids every single day. Right. Like they just don't want to be that. And that's okay.
Because men have been doing it for centuries. They've been at the top of the food chain in corporate America or whatever. Pretty much every industry. We know most of the industries are male driven and it has been that way for years.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with the woman breaking those barriers? But she can also be a wife. She can also be a mother.
Right.
It may not look like what we were used to, but it's a new day and age. And I think we have to respect that.
Yeah.
I think we also have to respect the way in which a male looks. There's a lot of stay-at-home dads. There's a lot of dads that cook and clean, take care of the household. Why would anybody be negative or make him feel bad for taking care of his house?
And I just think ultimately, like when it comes to like in a relationship, those are, it goes back to, those need to be discussions.
They do.
You know, like
they do.
Like with my ex, I knew he would. He said he was very traditional in that, and I told him, and I'm very independent. So how we gonna make this work?
But you can, like you can.
No, you can, and we did. But what I'm saying is, I knew what he was expecting, and I told him, well, I don't know how this is gonna work, but let's try. You know, but that was a discussion, you know, in the beginning.
You have to have.
And if you choose like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. I don't know what to tell you, player.
Well, the thing about it is, like I just said, me and Alfred were like two bulls in a china shop. Cause he like, no, this is, and I'm like, okay, anyway, so I'm like, that ain't gonna work. We gotta meet each other in the middle, cause ain't no way I'm just gonna lay down and be fully submissive. I am my own individual, right? And have been for a long time.
I was say, when you met me, this is how it was.
Now
it's gonna take some time to get there.
That too. When you do date, and the older, you know, the older you get, it's gonna be hard because you are set in your ways on both sides. Now, you decided to go out here in the dating scene. If you're not willing to bend a little, then don't date.
Compromise. Yeah, you have to be able to compromise.
Just don't date.
But then again, there are those situations where it's like, this is exactly what I want, and you actually might find that person who's going to fit into that mold, right up in there, right on up in there. But I feel like most of the time, there will have to be like some bending, like. I'll never forget. I'm sorry, I just have to tell this quick story because every time I think about it, it still kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Hold on, you smiling and I'm it pisses me off.
Because so, you know, last relationship, very independent. You know, I know how he is. Whatever. We have now been together for maybe like a year or whatever, and he was very much type of person. Like he was always right. Like he was always right.
Oh, that
I know. We're leaving. We went out of town. We're leaving, and I'm a visual person, so I remembered how to like leave, whatever.
Yeah.
So I tell him like, oh yeah, I think you're supposed to turn right here. He's like, nah, that's not right.
And you know it is.
And I know it is.
Yeah.
Immediately, I get pissed.
Yeah.
So he drives about 5 minutes. Like, oh no, I don't think this is right. Turns around. What does he do? He turns down the damn street that I had told him 5 minutes ago. Like, why don't you are not always right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to fight you as far as you being the leader, but don't. What?
Let me tell you something. Alfred still does that.
He also bad.
And you know what I do? Just like this. I don't even say nothing. And I used to get mad, but now I'm gonna let you take us. It's your gas. You go to Chicago, come back. I'm just like looking out the window because I'll hear him like, oh wait a minute. And I'll just be like, because in the beginning he like, babe, just let me do this. And now we get lost and I don't say anything and I just be like, until he be like, man. And I be like,
when he realizes, like,
literally just said. But now I just
let him go.
Go on and get lost, sir. Come back around.
Okay, so what about, let's switch out of like, I guess, relationship.
Yeah.
And gender expectations.
Oh no.
When we think about one's just sexuality.
And, yeah, that's a good one.
You know, just what they may like, not like, whatever the case may be.
Right. I already got an expectation that I think society has put on women.
Me too. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Go ahead.
Threesomes.
Yeah. Oh, no, I wasn't going to say that, but that's one of them. But
what are you going to say?
Oh, okay. That we got to be this...
sex bunny? No.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh.
It's like we got to be a combination of Megan Thee Stallion.
Hold on.
We got to be
the Megan Thee Stallion. You keep referring to her.
Oh, what's the other lady? Cardi B. We got to be you know, it's like all these things.
We got to be ratchet?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Pretty much most of the females that are sexualized in social media have a bit of ratchetness to them.
I mean, I got a little bit of ratchet too.
But you ain't doing what they doing.
I mean, how you know? I'm just kidding.
Girl, you ain't out there like that.
Well, okay, what do you mean though? Like, okay, so you're saying like you think now expectations are that women, the over sexual, like, okay, gotcha.
We gotta be real extra.
Extra meaning
in the bedroom.
Oh,
because even the songs, you want me to do what with my mouth, and what you want me to do with my legs, and you want me to do what?
I think that's. Oh, well, okay. No. I get what
now,
you're saying.
Don't get me wrong. I will try some things. You know what I mean?
You want me to flip? Oh. You want to tumbling past before?
But I done hit my head. Now I got a gash on my forehead because
got a concussion.
Now I'm out for 4 days.
You want to be upside down?
I done hit my head on the fan. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
That's so funny to me.
It's like, wait a minute. We got to do so much.
Oh my gosh.
But you know
that one just took me out. Oh my.
You know what I mean? Jeez.
My head on the fan.
But do you remember when Beyonce was surfing? What was she doing?
Swag surfing. She was surfboard. Yeah. Riding on that.
Now you get the expectation. Then it went to the pineapples. Like, I need a list of what we're supposed to do out here. Well, and thank God I've been with my husband for so long. Oh, God. He know what I'm capable of. Okay?
Oh man, that is funny.
But I feel like out here in the dating world,
you have to be a little bit more of a freak. I can be a freak. I can be a freak.
Every song you turn on.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right.
And then the expectation for men, you gotta have a lot of money. Every song is about take me shopping.
Or they have
flew it out.
Have that BDE.
Oh, what's that? Huh? Oh, I know exactly what that is.
That big D energy.
100%. So that's already an expectation. I'm sure that men are worried about, like, if I date, are they going to expect me to make this amount of money? Do they expect me to buy them things?
Go on trips.
Cash
out, basically. Cash out. Yeah.
Like, how's anybody supposed to keep up with that? Mm-hmm. Like,
you know something? I don't know if this is an expectation, but you know how, like,
laugh.
Well, because I was talking to somebody recently about this. Who was it? I don't know, but I was talking to somebody about you know, like the whole gray sweatpants thing.
Yes.
With men, and then like for women, it's like a sundress.
Yes, or the booty, or the workout leggings,
or the workout.
Show your butt.
Yeah, the one that like cups it, all that stuff,
all in your butt crack.
Yeah. Oh, good old social media has changed things around.
It's like, and then it was the Hoochie Daddy shorts.
Ew.
Which, who started that? Here's the thing. I don't really, and this is just me, I never really liked the sweatpant thing because I don't even know you, sir. And I don't want to see your business on social media. You did?
Nah,
you wanted to see? You was like, you was like,
let me zoom in. Just kidding.
You were like, he was cute, but he really
right.
That is so funny. To me, I'm like, back up, sir.
Oh, man.
I don't want to see that part of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that, but that is social media because it's intrusive in a way that I don't think I wanted to quite see that body part of you while I'm scrolling through my timeline and I see your little business.
That is a little bit much.
It's too much. And then the Hoochie Daddy shorts was like Hoochie Daddy plus the imprint. So now I got to see your whole thigh and all of that. And the thing, I said, this too much.
Can I go back to your expectation that you're saying that you feel like now women have to be more sexy or more in the bed.
Yeah.
Like how do you handle that though? Like if that ain't you, like
I know.
Like if that is not you,
right? What you supposed to do?
Like you missing out on maybe a good relationship or whatever the case may be. Like,
but you know what, Tam? I think
I feel like those are more like fantasy stuff.
It is, but I think people have misconstrued it. It's like that is a fantasy. Now, in a relationship, I will say, me and Alfred, you know, there are things you want to try. There's, you know, as you know, you're like, well, let's try it.
Yeah, every relationship, you know, I done tried some things.
But don't go into it
with that expectation.
With that expectation, you only known her for 30 days, and you expecting her to pull out all the things out of the bag. Because one thing I know, you gonna get everything.
Pulling out all the.
You want her to pull everything, all the tricks out the bag. It's like, no. 9 times out of 10, a woman ain't gonna give you everything.
Right.
She gonna keep a little something.
Or they may not even.
They not even have a little something.
They may not have none in the bag.
Maybe they haven't been taught. Maybe they haven't been, because one thing I know. Let me go into that part. Okay. In my household, we were not. When I say we didn't talk about none of that.
Really?
And then
your household.
Yeah. Like in the household of just even having sex. Now, as I got older, you know, my friends and everything like that, but even to this day, some of my friends and I, we don't even talk about that topic at all. And so it's like we don't. Some of my friends, we don't. Now, some of us, we do.
What?
But not all of them. Like, not all my friends are that comfortable of us sharing our stories. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the comfortability, thank you, may not be there. So if you provide a space, we always talk about a safe space, but if you provide a safe space for a sis to experiment, if she's comfortable enough, but don't have the expectation that she gonna do what Tam said, like a threesome, or she gonna really wait a minute.
Yeah.
That ain't all women out here that's doing all that. And if she is, when do you bring that up? Like, hi, nice to meet you. Are you interested in, or I'm into open relationships? Are you like, when is that something that you bring up?
In the beginning.
Like, what's the beginning? The first week? 2 weeks?
I think, I mean, I don't know. I've never had to, I never went through the situation, but I mean, logically, I mean, probably before like you guys start to really like get serious or
like catch feelings.
Yeah, you know, like I need to know what you.
No, that's true.
What you expect of me?
Well, because it is like sometimes there were things that you wouldn't even be open to, and then somebody asked you, and then you might be open to it. So I do agree. Like, you do need to get into that before feelings get attached to each other, so that they know, okay, he gonna try to bring somebody else in, or she gonna try to bring somebody else in, or whatever the case may be. So I think gender to me has nothing to do with it. I think it's the individual, you know, as far as what role you play, far as like expectations. Absolutely. I think now more than ever, it is about who that individual is. And don't put any expectation on them because they're a woman, because they're a man, or whatever the case may be. Just don't put it on them without conversation.
That may be hard for some, you know, just because of maybe how long you've been that way in with your mindset. But yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
No need to go any further into that.
So, anything else before we move on to our shoot the shit?
Negative.
Okay, so our shoot the shit is something that I guess
sneaky link. Well, you know, you my sneaky link.
I was like, I just asked Tam, is that a side piece? But I think the difference Tam told me is they know that they are the side piece.
You could be sitting right next to them. They know
the deal.
Whereas, at least that's what I've taken away from it.
I literally have no idea.
I think a sneaky link is, excuse me, and I don't even know if it has to be a side. I don't know, because I feel like I've maybe seen some, not situations, but like where it's just a thing of like, I think the most common way of a sneaky link, I think, is like it's a side piece, but that side piece knows
their position.
But I think it can also apply to just like somebody that you messing with, but
y'all ain't monogamous.
Like nobody, like you see, like you just see a picture of a hand of someone, like
you ain't telling nobody.
I could be wrong.
Nobody know.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know, but I think the main thing is side piece, but they know their position.
I think it's kind of irritating to me because it's such a popular thing, but in some cases we're introducing infidelity, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think that can be another episode.
It could be,
but
we somebody help me out. Thank you. Things like that, and it's like, wait a minute.
I will say, and we don't have to get too deep into it.
Yeah.
But I do think that this new era of relationship, like
anything goes,
like just being in like marriages and like the pop. I don't want to say popular. It shouldn't be based on popularity, but like
it's not.
It's not valued as much, and like being in just one relationship, so but yes, I do agree that by doing that, it is basically opening up infidelity.
And I guess like, I mean, it's always been a thing. I don't know who came up with sneaky link, but that is, I mean, a side piece.
It is a side piece.
And like, and then years ago was like your main, and you like, it was like, this is the main and this is the side, and they all know their positions or whatever. But I'm just like, why can't we start talking about like a union anymore?
Wait, what?
Like a relationship.
Oh. Like, I thought you meant literally like a union. I'm like, wait a minute, we at work?
Like, what happened to that? I guess I'm just.
You mean like putting that more on the forefront of like just what we see more? Yeah.
It's so popular.
It's the music, and it's these social media influencers. Which, where the hell did they even come from? Whatever, but that's where it is, because back in the day there used to be. I think I was just talking to you about it. Kelly Price, a song popped up. I forgot about the song, and it was about love. And, like those were more. So
it's kind of like relationships now are so surface. It's kind of like we're not really getting into the nitty gritty of what makes a successful relationship. It's like, what kind of money do you have?
Right. Not realizing it actually takes work. Like, everything's not going to be perfect.
And nobody wants to do no work. And I am not bashing BBLs.
Oh,
I'm not.
I am.
But what has happened lately has been quite tragic.
Yeah.
And it's like, that also requires work, fitness. Now, not everybody
wants to take the time.
Not everybody wants to take the time. I get it. When I say I'm on this journey of fitness and eating well, it changes mentally every single day. You got to talk to yourself.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is that I just feel like when it comes to relationships, our health, our well-being, we are not getting to what it really takes. It's like surface. It's like, oh, well, don't work out and don't eat well. Just get you a BBL. Don't have a relationship. Get you a little sneaky link and run through a couple people. Then
I mean, and even I guess to kind of piggyback off of the whole fitness thing, it does also relate to what's being put in front of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, these women are getting these surgeries, and the men don't care. They just see a nice shaped woman. That's it.
They don't know what you went through to get there.
Right. But it's like the more natural, it's not as attractive. Which then I think also can play into some things of being a sneaky link. You know what I mean? Because they're chasing more of like that fantasy or whatever.
The visual aspects of it. I think. I mean, sneaky link's been around forever.
Yeah, they're just called something different. Yeah.
So I understand what it is. I had just was like, what is a sneaky link? Because I keep hearing that term, which is essentially a side piece or whatever the case may be. But we talk about it so much. It's like, I'm tired of hearing about it. And why can't we promote
the opposite? Because it is very popular now. And I mean, essentially that is, like you said, it is promoting infidelity. You know, it is like, it's just a realizing, like, within your relationship or situation, you're not going to be 100%, like, there's going to be some issues, there's going to be some things that you have to work through or whatever. Absolutely. So pulling in that sneaky link may not be the best thing, because that is just a temporary thing.
And eventually somebody gonna catch feelings.
And then there's been a recent situation where someone was a sneaky link and the girl caught feelings and she went on a rampage, child. I mean, a whole rampage. But yeah, so you gotta be careful,
because people gonna have receipts.
Oh, absolutely. they gonna send the blogs.
Oh, you ain't answering your phone? Hold on one second. I'm getting on social media and I'm putting this picture on that we was laid up.
Absolutely.
I'm putting these text
messages. You send me some money, I'm gonna send how much you sent.
So I guess if you're willing to go down that road, be willing to face the consequences if they do ever come. But also, I think, be honest. If that person, give them an option. If they want to be a sneaky link, that's their business. That's your business.
Right.
But at least communicate it to them.
At least say, like, look, this is this is what you are. You good with that? Okay, well then whatever.
Or you got somebody, but what you can be is this.
Yeah.
Because some people don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be the side. Okay, that's
but that also goes back to, like, okay, like, yeah, I'll agree. And this is even men too, like the woman going out. But sometimes what happens is, like, yeah, okay, I agree to it. And like you just said, now all of a sudden feelings then got into it, and you think like what they presented you with is now all of a sudden going to change. Yeah, no, that's
this is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
And then you got to cut it. Because once you catch feelings, that's it.
Cut it.
Ain't no coming back.
Ain't no coming back.
So, anything else about that?
I was about to say, I ain't got nothing else.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening on another episode of No Tea, Just Coffee. I am Jordan.
Tam.
Until next time. Bye. Bye.